Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. We are playing in the Hardcore Abyss League as a Templar. And we finally have Volatile Dead. So I suspect our journey forward is gonna be a little smoother than it was. Hello there, Abyss. How are you doing today? Oh. Let's just blow some stuff up, get some corpses going, and then do some blowing up. Hello there, hello, hello. Oh, you're a little big. You are way too close to me. Bugger off. Yeah, wonderful. And another stage. And off we go again. Okay, might be getting a little too enthusiastic here. What the heck is happening here? This is more intense than before. Okay, here, please do explode, and I'm not talking about myself. Oh, at least we got the trove. Was there a rogue exile in there, maybe? It's very possible there was a rogue exile in there, because it definitely looked like a shadowy version of the arrow ring. Let's see, Arcane Surge, the trigger is 19 mana. Current activation cost of Volatile Dead is 13, so we can bump it up. I think, if we keep it between 2 and 3 activations, then it's probably gonna be all right. So we want to have the activation threshold of Arcane Surge between 26 and 39 mana. So it's 22, so we can bump it up one more time after this. But I think it was Ona. I didn't see him, but that attack, very possible. Okay, so last couple of levels we've been getting towards Righteous Decree, amping up the mana. Currently have 285 unreserved mana, compared to just under 600 alive. So, picking up Mind Over Matter, 30% of damage is taken from mana before life. I think the balance is about right. So let's spend it, and then the next couple levels we're gonna further increase the mana pool. After that, we're gonna grab the Jewel socket, and then at least we'll have a socket on the tree to attach these lovely little murderous eyes to. Ooh, a searching eye. Those are a different kind, so that's the third we've seen so far. Bunch of life and 2% chance to block spells if you were damaged by a hit recently. Okay, actually not quite bad. This one, 4 life regen per second, physical damage added to dagger attacks, and a chance to gain onslaught on kill. Okay, so I made a couple of small changes to the build. I switched to using the Stygian Vice we found in one of the earlier episodes. I figured, no, this is the league specific item, so let's use it. And as such, we're using a Murderous Eye Jewel. And this way, we're getting almost as much life as we got from the blue leather belt before, but there's now also a bunch of other stats. So this is an opportunity to just switch out some things. The increased damage against abyssal monsters definitely helps here. This is 29 life, so that's only 2 more. That's really not an upgrade. The 2% chance for spell block, not really that great, and this is not an upgrade either. We did find a new Stygian Vice. So if you compare it to what we currently have, I don't think this is an upgrade. So that's too bad. So let's move forward. And that is a dead end. That is not very useful. So let's just follow the road in the good old fashion. Now, I keep trying to right-click things with the Volatile Dead, but of course we first need the corpses. But after that, once we got the corpses going, life's good. You can actually lay out multiple layers of Detonate Dead, and then if an enemy is approaching you, you can just explode one, then the next, and then the next as they walk over it. So you benefit both from the area explosion as well as from the missile. I'm just still trying to figure out the best way to use the skills and to use the mechanics. So also something that didn't occur to me until I started editing the videos, or no, doing the audio editing and making the screenshot, the thumbnails for the videos, is that I'm actually playing an Inquisitor. And in Grim Dawn I was also playing an Inquisitor. So I'm gonna go from one Inquisitor to the next. Which is kind of funny. I find it funny. So, okay, so we found the entrance to the den, then we might as well do it. For this episode I plan to go for the trials. Ooh, foul area. Don't see those all that often. And is it me, or has the blue become a little brighter? A little more stand out than it was in the past? Roofless support. Ah, we got a corpse. And okay, you needed a little more encouraging to become a corpse as well. Just wake you up. Not quite sure if that's gonna help. So there's a little attack delay, or a little activation delay before the orbs actually do something. So you can't. Well, you can obviously spam these orbs, but it's not an instant cast orb win. There is like a half second or delay, or maybe even less, before it actually kicks in. Also, I figured this would probably be a dead end, but now that this keeps stretching on and on and on, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Eventually we want to head over to the left hand side. Whoosh. And the monkeys become fuel. Because the explosions, they hurt. They hurt quite a bit. So I've been upgrading my gear a little bit. The white items I used, they have become blue. Picked up a new amulet. I'm gonna go for jade amulet with this one. Equipped a new hammer with some slightly better damage. Chance for igniting, things like that. And we now have more evasion than armor. They're just about the same, but slightly more evasion. So they're both at around an estimated 30% chance to evade and physical damage reduction with armor. So I know the defenses are nicely layered up. We got some armor, we got some defense, well, we got some evasion, we got some block. We have life, we have energy shield, we have mind over matter. And this is where in Act 6 we're gonna emerge. So at least we found that bit. Okay. Let's see. And now we got the corpses, and then we can cascade this. Picking up hammers, might as well pick up a couple hammers, stash them away for when we get to maps. Goodbye bear. Ooh, Abyss. I like Abyss. I think Abyss, right now it feels like it is Breach done right. Because you can run away from these things if they get too scary and you simply forgo your loot, your rewards. But there's an element of choice in here that you can choose to continue or you can choose to leave. Whereas with Breach it was something you committed to, and spawn rate was very, very varied. Ow. I think I like you very much. But because this is more of a choice, I like it. Ooh, okay, let's hope that's my second one so far. No, and I should remember to put the Decoy Totem down. And now we got enough corpses, so I might as well explode them. I got so in the habit of just putting down Unearth corpses and then Volatile Dead exploding them, that I forget to use the corpses that the battlefield creates. And from the looks of it, the mobs actually leave corpses behind. As opposed to Breach, which were a bit of odd ducks. Well, maybe I guess they could be turned into zombies, but you couldn't spectrify them, and I was playing a Spectre exploding build at the time, so that's why the corpses felt wonky. Looking at the Ancestral Call made me think of maybe doing a Dominating Blow build, because I really like the Dominating Blow as a skill, but it's there's some issues with it, or there have been issues with it. I think one of them had to do with monsters inheriting auras or something after they die, or there was something odd with it that people mentioned that in maps it's gonna wreck you. I have no idea whether that actually has been fixed, because a lot of changes to some of the more dangerous elements of the game, like the volatile mechanics, the reflect mechanics, things like that, they have been changed over time. So I was tempted to have a look at it, but then of course, we got the corpse skills, and well, I can't say no to corpse skills. Hello there. Burning Covered Up Hollow. 35% extra damage is fire and 12% quantity. But Ancestral Call, Dominating Blow might be in the cards sometime. Depends a little bit on how things go and how far you get into the league and things like that. Because in late December I will have some time off for vacation. So if I feel like it, I might do an extra thing, or just have a I don't know, a stream only character, or do something. So no promises, but just speculating a little bit. Here, you please be explodified. Yes, thank you. And I should have put up a Decoy Totem. Build habits, enforce habits. Then hopefully you won't die. You can also just shoot the first couple of enemies with your Unearth, and after that just use all the corpses for the rest. Well, works pretty well, because Unearth, it does pierce through everything it hits. So if you aim at the edge of your screen, you're gonna get potentially pierce through a lot of monsters with a single hit, because the entire pack goes through. And then you have just a tapestry of corpses to explode. Look at that. Ooh, acceleration shrine. That is gonna be fun. Let's put a point up. Okay. Little split in the road. That's a bit unlike Val areas. Haha, Decoy Totem. I thought of it. Hello there, Cintiq. Hehehe. Yes, exploded you good. And then, of course, full of items. So for now, we'll just put them in the stash, and I'll sort them out later. Gotta identify the Stygian stuff though. Bit of strength, bit of armor, bit of cold res, no life. For now, we'll just put you away. Bonus to claw attacks and bonus against damage against abyssal monsters. That's alright. And some gems. And transmutation. I keep blowing through my orbs of transmutation early on. It's one of the more popular orbs. Ooh, Navali. Yeah, let's just get some prophecies for you. Let's keep loading up. Good. So what actually did we grab? Warmongers. Encounters warbands. Powerful golem in the Vaal side area. That's just a shade too late. Arctic Tempest in an area. And Hardened Armor. Greatly enhanced quality of an armor piece with a single armor scrap. Okay. Anything I would like to improve? Putting it on the shield for now might actually be a bad one. Bloop. So you get 20% quality from it. So our current armor goes up to 212, so 38% estimated damage reduction. It is an estimate based on 1.5 times the average damage that monsters deal at your current level. So it really varies depending per monster. No, some monsters do more damage per hit, some have more. No, some have a lot of weak hits, some have just really slow, really hard hits. Bosses obviously are much stronger. Also, where is the white beast? Ah, over there. Man, this is turning out to be a long run for this area. Luckily, we have our corpse teleport. And there is the great red beast. Here, I have yourself a decoy totem. Then I'll just shoot at you. So, Decoy Totem does have a nice property of grouping enemies together. Therefore, you do create a focus for both enemies to gather around, but also once they die, they become corpses which we can then use. So you really create a slaughtering grounds, and hopefully you can keep your totem alive that way. Okay, murder the monkeys. Especially with the weaker mobs like monkeys, you don't really need to use Volatile Dead against them, since Unearth is strong enough by itself. Yeah, I really think the blue mobs are bluer than before. Spirit Chainmail. It's a tree link, so might as well grab it. Not doing anything with my current one yet. Here, have yourself a little distraction. I said have yourself a distraction. Yes, good bear. Good little bear. Greater life, that is a drop in upgrade. Wonderful. Right, so now let's set out for the Temple of Sins. Right. They will go off after enemies that you haven't even seen yet. That is kind of funny. So, I do find myself trying to shoot the enemies, but of course, you... Ooh, hello. Goodbye. But if you use Unearth on enemies, and of course the corpse is going to land right after them. So that is not really helping you. So if instead, you just explode right before them. Then at least the explosion is going to hit them. I wonder what the most efficient way is going to be to scale the skill at later dates. Okay, that was maybe not the smartest of move, teleporting into them. Oh, this is satisfying. Just having those orbs summon and murder everything. And there we are. One Chamber of Sins. We'll defeat the roaming warbands. Hello there, warbands. Here, have yourself a decoy totem. You pay attention to the decoy totem. I'll just explode corpses. Oh, another warband. Works rather well. I can see it being really convenient having Spell Echo and greater multiple projectiles for Unearth, so with a single hit you can just deposit 10 corpses. And then after that you can just murder them. Because then it's gonna be 1 cast of Unearth and then 3 casts of Volatile Dead. Then there's gonna be 1 more corpse remaining on the floor, but with a bit of luck you will have created several new corpses out of the monsters. And you can just chain from there, so it's easier to set up. Okay. Well, there ought to be a room in the center now that actually points us towards where to go. Probably could have remembered that, should have remembered that, something along those lines. The positioning of the map device will tell you where to go next. Let's see, what's the threshold? 22. Yeah, we can do it once more. Ooh, hello there, warblades. We'll just explode more corpses, and then your corpses are gonna feed the rest of the explosions. Wonderful. Ooh, 3-link scepter. That has some potential. Center room. Brilliant. Waypoint. So this is the direction from the referee device via the waypoint towards the other side. Is where we need to be. And we'll just cascade onwards. What? Bring that one along. And then more corpses from the zombos. Send us in the right direction. Okay, Chamber of Sins. We have 2 things to do here. One is the trial, one is the boss fight with Mr. Lightning Dude. Also, maybe stop attacking me, you bunch of evil monsters. Like that, yes. Let's see, already grabbed that, then that, and then next up is going to be the juicy one. 40 mana and 30% increased max. Okay, this one, the boots we're using, it's all right, but having something with links is useful. Let's actually just empty pockets and stash them away. So, like that. Usually trial is somewhere to the left. So just I'm gonna go with what I know. And if things are different, then we'll find it out. Sharing bonds, yeah. I ended up just putting Spirit Bond on just a empty socket and had a spare place, but haven't actually felt a need to use it yet. But figured out just level it a little bit, it might become a bit more powerful, because it was a level 1 version that we started with after all. This one is arguably a bit easier than some of the other ones, because these soul blades are relatively doable to avoid. I like them better than the spike traps. You need some convincing. Okay. So one of the ways I'm gonna end up scaling the corpse skills is with fire pen. Oh, we're doing a lot of fire damage, so if we penetrate enemies' resistances, then the more sturdy ones will not be able to do much against me. Flammability curse is also going to be something I'm just thinking of hard casting it. No blasphemies, no cast on hit or crit or whatever. Just hard casting it. Because against regular mobs I don't think we'll need it. And those couple of tough enemies that we do encounter, we put a curse on them and the curse is going to stick around for a while. And I think that's going to be fine. Especially most bosses, they will be resistant to curses anyway, so having it versus not having it might even be that it's not even needed, and that I could better spend my skill slot on maybe a defensive curse, but that's something to look at later. For now, fire penetration support should be enough, and that's something that works against everything without things like curse resistance coming into play. So, next stop is going to be somewhere to the top. And there's always a path branching off to the right that is a bit recognizable. I think we're at it. Yeah, over here. Still haven't seen Abyss in here. Wonder if it's because it's indoor, wonder if it's maybe just a coincidence. Either way, fighting time. What is my lightning resist? 28%. That's alright. Let's just put some corpses down. Decoy Totem. And then just cascade corpses. Okay, now Fidelitas was kind of absorbing all the corpses or all the explosions. I guess that is one of the things to really watch out for. You cannot control the Volatile Dead. Maybe by choosing which corpses to explode, then maybe hoping they'll go for the things that are closest to them. But yeah, you might have to think about that a bit more rather than just assuming it will do the right thing. Because what is the right thing to do? Okay, so Heralds and Enduring Cry. So Herald of Ash could be fun. If you explode things, they will inflict burning. On the other hand, do we really need it? I don't think so. Enduring Cry, I don't want to use War Cries because that will put taunting on me, and that is something I'm going to try to avoid. So for now, we'll just pick up Herald of Ash. And we'll see. We'll just stash it away. That's alright. We can stash things. So we have a Baleful Gem, we have an Orb of Regrets, and Yina will have a belt for us. Oh, actually, more choices now. So it used to be you only got a belt, a rare version of a belt, but since I figured Stygian Vice is gonna be our thing, we'll just ignore the belts. So let's go for a Quicksilver. You never ever have enough Quicksilvers. Less charges used, that is 3 sips. I like it. So put that one away. Helena. Everybody, okay. Then we have one more stop, and that is the other trial. Yeah. I think the explosion, the corpse explosion, only is the 3% damage. Explosion deals base damage equal to 3% of the corpse's maximum life. So, and then the 64 to 97 fire damage is for the projectile. So putting corpses underneath enemies and exploding them, it's 3% of their maximum life. So if you have the same type of monster, then it's only 3%, then you need to effectively kill 33 corpses to kill one of their bodies with them. That's quite a bit. Obviously we are scaling fire damage, scaling elemental damage, So the damage goes up a little bit. Scaling area damage, that also means the damage goes up a little bit. But it's still, the corpse explosion is not gonna overwhelmingly kill monsters. On the other hand, I do summon the archers. I have no idea what the scaling is gonna be of the archers. But I guess though, if you have a Spectre Summoner, then at every single level you can have a look at what the Archer Corpses of Unearth will have in terms of life, and then you can effectively calculate the damage from that. But no, it's just going to be a little tool, but it's going to be the heat-seeking missiles that will be dealing the true damage. Now, where possible, I'm trying to scale fire and area damage instead of spell damage, specifically so the explosions will gain the most damage scaling. Now that's also why there's more damage bonuses for fire damage, and I'm trying to avoid them for specifically for spell damage. But there are limits. Okay, I'll just summon the corpses. But it also, if the explosions are not all that powerful, then one of the nice things is of course going to be that you don't really need to go after. No, don't need to really place the corpses all that well, and you can just go back and just create as many missiles as possible, and then just use them rather than thinking like, yeah, but the missiles are too far away, so it's going to be a waste and things like that. Because if most of the damage was in the area explosion rather than in the missile, then you really would want to position monsters, things like that. Hello there, you blight thing. So I've seen some animated gifs of those kinds of monsters behaving incredibly crazy in terms of attack speed over the launch weekend of the expansion. I think that is something that got fixed in the 3.10c patch. I think it had something to do with the souls, but I can be wrong about that. I'm just happy that so far they haven't been behaving that silly yet. Find it then. I think we can do that. Wonderful. Even more quicksilvers. Okay. I think that question I asked earlier, can you ever have enough quicksilvers? I think the game is just trying to prove the point that yes, there might be a limit. And that is inspiration. Wonderful. 500 mana. And a pretty decent mana regen that goes with it, I suspect. 15 mana regen per second. I mean, if just while normally casting your skills you cannot max out your... oh no, you cannot really drain your mana, then something is good. Rotting Den, how do we get there? There's a wall here. Is there a way around the wall? There's a way around the wall. Brilliant. Ooh, ghost. Oh, this is nice. We can shoot the ghost and then we can just send heat-seeking missiles after the ghost. I think we might have found a ghost killer weapon. Ghost killer skill. I am pleased with that. Tora. Oh. Part of me wonders whether I can just use the zombies that are rising still as corpses for Volatile Dead. Meaning, if they're not really animated yet, they should count as something I could use, right? Well, hello there. And goodbye. Chance to ignite. The more levels we put in, the bigger the chance we will actually ignite things with our missiles. It's kind of funny, since initially I wasn't really thinking of scaling the Volatile Dead via just getting as many missiles up in the air as possible. So no, I didn't really look at that. And then you fall into things like, hey, well, Immolator's pretty good, Elemental Focus is pretty good, so if you can use another skill to set monsters on fire, then well, you can just use the main skill to actually deal damage against enemies that are on fire. No, just a 1-2 combo, so to say. But if you don't have that, then things become much simpler if you just can get more projectiles in the air. And it seems like there is no real scarcity in corpses. Especially not because Abyss corpses are actual corpses. And enemies do have a habit of dying and leaving corpses behind. Most of the time. Okay, there's a look crypts. So we have another trial down here. And then on the second level we have a boss to fight. That's gonna grant us a quest reward for a jewel. A regular jewel, not one we can put in our belt. But it's gonna be fun nonetheless. I wonder if the orb duration that they stay up, if that scales with the Scion skill length scaling. Ooh. You are fractured, that is alright. That just means more things to explode. And it looks like the heat-seeking missiles are pretty good at just figuring out where the enemies are. So currently the slowest part in the build is probably just me instead of the build itself. If you want, you can probably rush this through the game at probably a pretty incredible rate. But I do like to take it easy for a little bit. It's been quite a while since I played Path of Exile, so I'm really just with this series getting back into the game. And no, this is hardcore again, so it's nice to just not try to rush too quickly into things, since even here I do end up doing some maybe less than smart things anyway. Let's follow in here, pretend we're a pillar. Okay, then next up is this pillar. Wait, can we? Can't shoot corpses through. I figured if you could shoot a corpse through, we could corpse teleport onto it. Because that would be pretty cool. Well, no, this is no way to cheat. I guess that's fortunately. Okay. Yeah, all you need is just a couple corpses and then the ball gets rolling pretty well. So that is 2 trials, or 3 out of 6 trials completed now in total. Let's see, we came from there, then we probably have to be either up there or onto the left somewhere. If everything was spread out. Okay. Oh, you possessed something, that means you're not gonna run away, which is fine with me. Put up a Decoy Totem, you'll be decoyed. And okay, we got plenty of volatiles here. Marvelous. Yeah, see, we don't have the space for a staff. Ooh, Abyss. So we can just mow down the first layers of skeletons. Put that one up and then trigger it, and of course it's gonna go the other way. But then we'll just summon the projectiles nonetheless. And just explode things as they come. Well, having a small battery of explosions does help quite a bit. This one, nope, see, crack continues. We've been here, that is also advantageous. Hello there. Just keep distracting you. And we got another Abyssal Trove. Oh, Stonecoal. Stygian Vice, Murderous Eye. Okay, let's have a look. 1 Vice, 2 Vice, bunch of eyes. I think that rhymed for some reason. Let's see, you. A bit of Cold Res, some stun stuff. And Reflect, so not really all that great. Strength, Armor, Life and Resist. I think this one actually has 4 mods that are useful. Though in terms of numbers might not be the greatest, but I think this might actually be no improvement over what we got. What are you? Strength, Armor, Dual Res and Flask Mana Recovery. Dual Res is tempting, though there's no life on here. This one would be an improvement, I think. Just because it has a little bit more life. Like so. Let's see, jewels, mana and cold res. Armor, increase damage over time by holding a shield. Do we actually qualify? 2% chance to block spells if you were damaged recently, that is pretty easy. And increase mana regen while moving. Interesting. Interesting condition. I've also seen life regen while moving, actually. And you 8-16 fire damage to sword attacks. And 30% armor if you haven't killed recently. Okay, that's all a little less compelling. So just empty pockets and then move on to the boss. Like that. Do end up getting quite a nice amount of loot here again. But it's better to get a decent amount of loot than to not get enough of it. Yeah, so this one is just in the way. Voila. Is this the way forward? Yeah, it is. You are dead, you just did not realize. Okay, side room, but cleared it out anyway. Oh, small step backwards. I've been poisoned. I do like that they show the mods up left. It seems a little spread out rather than everything in a single line. So positive things are now on the top line, and then on the second line I think they have the debuffs. So at least it's easier to see when things are right versus when they are wrong. Blech.
An orb of immense power.
So, heat-seeking missiles kill spiders, and spider corpses kill more spiders. I like how that works. Some more of those radiantly blue enemies. LMP just got better, and passive points. So let's get some more life and mana regen going. Oh, you never have enough life. I think that statement stands a little better than you never have enough Quicksilver flasks. Because more life is more life, which is more useful. Okay. Must say the Decoy Totem is relatively sturdy.
Chaos Orb.
And that is another Chaos Orb. Altar, Golden Hand. We're a regular old tomb robber here. And that was that. So, back to town. I think Gihina wanted us to do this. I am Dream Tender. Ooh, mana and elemental damage. Or dex and elemental resist. The 22 dex might not be bad to help with some early dex scaling if need be. Because otherwise, no 10% elemental damage, it's alright. But I think the dex is more difficult to obtain right now. To passive respecs. Yeah, so once we grab that one, we can put it in. Because it's not until here that I planned to pick up a dex node on the tree. And otherwise I would have to travel out of my way to grab something. So this is gonna be just something to put in here. We'll see. It's the end of the episode here. No, we managed to make decent progress. Went to the east side, got both of the trials. So next episode we're gonna play hide and seek with the bandits. Tag them all, kill them all, and then get the rewards for that. And then episode afterwards, wrap up Act 2 and go after the Vaal Oversoul. But for now, I'm gonna thank you very much for watching and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.